Lucas, a nice warm cup of joe late on a Monday night when you got to get up early the next day. Is there anything better?
I can't think of anything.
I think of one thing, Lucas, and it's another Dan K show this week from the Dan K Cafe. Lucas here from the Dan K Cafe. Things are heating up, and they are surely heating up in the USPHL down there on the ice. This weekend, this past week, Thanksgiving week, right? That's thing number one. It was Thanksgiving week. There was nothing going on because, sometimes the players need a chance to recharge, regroup, and recollect and get back with their families, see mom and dad, see the cousins, see the family, play some pond hockey, play some football out in the backyard, and really, really just take that moment to recharge and get ready for the second half of the USPHL season. Speaking of second half, let's move on to thing number two. Thing number two, we're talking about Luke Novak, and he is a commit to University of Notre Dame, goes to University of Notre Dame. He's a freshman there now. This is a kid who tore it up last year with the Jersey Hitmen, and he is now at the next level. There's an article in USA Junior Hockey Magazine written by Josh Boyd himself. It's a great read. Pick it up. Learn about it. Learn about the league. Learn about Luke Novak and the success he's having that he attributes to his time here at the USPHL. Finally, thing number three is Stoli the goalie. Who doesn't love a great Twitter handle, and who doesn't love a great goaltender in Anthony Stolars, who stole his first win of his NHL career and his first ever start between the pipes? That's a Jersey Hitmen alumnus. That is Anthony Stolars. How pumped are you for Anthony, Lucas?
I mean, I'm excited for him. I know you are, Dan. And, the league in general always loves to see one of its players succeed at the next level, whichever next level that might be.
You know what? And we're going to take it to the next level right now with our next segment that Lucas titles The Missing Thanksgiving Scene. Ooh, Thanksgiving.
Where did it go?
The ghost of Thanksgiving.
It's still in the file where I put it and forgot to add it to last week's show.
There was a turkey involved. Lucas, with Thanksgiving here today, we want to talk about some of the players in the league that we're thankful for. And we're thankful for all the players. We're thankful for the great play. We're thankful for all the viewers that we get. But a couple guys stand out for us this Thanksgiving. Last year we picked about 3 to 5. We're going to pick 3 to 5 again this year. And we're going to start with a man, Lucas Michaud, who last couple of years his brother's been playing. I've called him the Flying Michauds. And they sounded like almost a French-Canadian trapezist team, trapeze artists. This time, you got the French connection. Austin Lemieux, Lucas Michaud, playing there, combining at the IHC. You got 11 and 22 for 33 total points for Austin Lemieux. You got 16 and 19 for Michaud. How good has this connection been? How thankful are you to be able to watch a pair like that play hockey?
Well, it's like the two of them were sort of meant to be together on the ice. You talk about the number of assists that the two of them have.
Yep.
We goal scorers, get a lot of attention. You highlight your best goals of the week.
Yes.
Every week you do that, but the assists are the bread and butter of a successful hockey team. And so to see a duo like that who could not only put the puck into the net, but also feed the puck to somebody else, it's a great thing to watch.
You talk bread and butter, but let's get to the gravy now. You know what I mean? And that's Eric, the E-Man Linnell. And this guy showed up on my top plays, and that's where I really started watching this guy. You know what I mean? I saw Eric Linnell play, and I said, I got to break down the tape. I got to get on video. I got to get some work done, and I got to watch this kid play. 14 goals, 13 assists, 27 points for the Pal Junior Islanders, a team that started slow out of the gates and has sped up since. Eric Linnell, I call him the E-Man. Why, Lucas?
Because he's the everything man?
No, because I watch Entourage, and Eric from the agent of the Entourage, he's from Long Island. So Long Island, Pal Junior Islanders, that's what happens. Eric Linnell, the Pal Junior Islanders, thankful for both of you, thankful for some of the interviews you guys have given us this year, thankful for the goals you're scoring. But I think there's a duo at the elite level, used to be at the USP3, they've moved their way to the elite, that we're pretty thankful for. each and every year. Who are they, Lucas?
Brandon Osmondson and John Munkovich.
That's right. My man, JM and B. Osmondson, the Bosman, Brandon Osmondson. He's been tearing it up. The two of them, you know what I mean? At the USP3, they dominated. Top scorers, ranking at the top in everything. Goals, assists, points, power play goals, power play assists, game-winning goals, anything you could think of. Guess what? 1 and 4 on the score sheet right now in the elite. These two dominate everywhere they play, anywhere they play, anytime. Put them on ice, put them on a pond, put them on a lake. They're going to score. They're going to score in bunches, and they're going to win games. What is the future going to look like for these two, Lucas?
Well, we've already seen from last year to this year what their immediate future has looked like. It's been a lot of improvement, a lot of continued success as well. So I can only imagine that their future beyond the elite level of USPHL hockey is going to be just as bright, just as successful as their transition from the USP3 to the elite.
And I know Hampton Roads, out there in Virginia, and a lot of people look at it and they overlook places like Virginia for hockey, and they miss it, and they miss talent like this. You cannot miss these two play together. You watch them play on the ice, it's spectacular. It looks no less than pro hockey. These kids are next level. These kids are fun to watch. You gotta get down to ice level. You gotta see it. You gotta watch it. You gotta take it in with those two peepers of yours. And you gotta keep watching, because you wanna talk about gravy, you wanna talk about bread and butter, you talk turkey. You talk the main course. It is these two down there in Hampton Roads. Gotta watch them, gotta take it in, gotta keep watching USPHL hockey. Keep watching our show, because next we're coming at you with some second helping, some teams with second helping of success after this Thanksgiving break. Lucas, I'm working on keeping my hands warm, getting myself ready to be outside in the elements at the second annual Heritage Classic coming up this year, where it's Chi-Town, home of the World Series champion Cubs, home of the second greatest NHL franchise of all time, the Chicago Blackhawks, slightly behind my New York Rangers. I know we're not going by championships here, but just by how much I like them. And the second best place in the country for pizza, according to John Schwartz. John Schwartz admitted, we know on the show, that New York, best pizza. New Jersey, along with New York, little New York, New Jersey, best pizza. Chicago, second best pizza. But the best hockey is going to be happening on the ice, Lucas. Tell us a little bit about the Heritage Classic between the Chicago Cougars and the Wisconsin Rapids River Kings.
Well, this is the second Heritage Classic between the Cougars and the River Kings. Both teams, this will be their second year in the USPHL. Both teams have been doing very well so far this year, and especially against each other, Dan, they have an extremely healthy, active rivalry going on. Yeah. And as we know from previous discussions of the Midwest style of hockey, it's going to be very, very physical hockey, very aggressive hockey. Both teams looking to hit just as much as they're going to be looking to score.
Oh, it's Breaking Bad style hockey, and that's why we have our themed mugs here today. Lucas has his outdoor game mug from the Winter Classic, which I attended last year. And I have my Walter White Heisenberg mug that says, I am the one who knocks. And you know who's going to be knocking? Every player on the ice in this game. Midwest hockey's physical, it's hard hitting, it's bruising, it's battering. Man, it's going to be fun to watch.
That's true. And these teams are so great on the ice.
Yeah.
But much like the USPHL at large, both of these teams are committed to off-the-ice ventures as well. The Cougars have hosted a pair of charity games in the past that benefited the Wounded Warriors and other local clubs, and the River Kings actually work with the Ho-Chunk Nation, the United Way, and the Salvation Army in a trio of charity efforts. So not only are these teams focused on the ice, they also know how to make a difference in their communities off the ice.
And that's something that comes from the leadership of both of these teams, and it's something that there's a man who's leading both ships there, and it's John Schwartz, and you see it's more than just hockey, and the USPHL pushes that all the time. We push it here all the time. It's more than just hockey. You're grooming young men, you're grooming future CEOs, future VPs, future professional athletes, future charitable donators, and this is something that I know John Schwartz takes very seriously, and both of these teams and their rosters take very seriously. All of the work they do behind the scenes, not just on the ice, is what makes these organizations two of the best in the world.
Exactly. And now, Dan, you were at last year's
Heritage Classic.
I was.
So tell us a little bit about your experience at that game, maybe what we can expect this year.
Number one, it was incredible. The landscape there. We went out to Detroit. I took a nice week there in Detroit. I was along with Coach Jason McCrimmon. I was along with Mark Gilman from the Motor City Hawks, who hosted the event, and then Coach Dan Vasquez of the Detroit Fighting Irish took me out around some of the sights and sounds of Detroit. You don't know everything about these cities till you really go experience it. I think the Heritage Classic's a great chance to go experience Chicago, but also experience outdoor hockey. There's nothing like looking at the sun setting while the puck is dropping at center ice. There's nothing like seeing a city landscape of Detroit, Chicago, some of these beautiful Midwest areas, while there's a beautiful game of hockey, the most beautiful game being played right out in front of you. Hockey was a game that was born on a pond. It's a game that belongs on the pond. I know a lot of the purists don't like to see the outdoor hockey game. They want to see it, hey, put it in the arena, let's see who's the better team. But you know what? There's nothing better, to me, to a fan like myself, to a reporter like myself, than watching these teams go at it out there on the ice.
Well, Dan, you went last year. I'm excited to join you this year. I'm really looking forward to it. And I think the league at large is looking forward to it, and definitely those two teams are looking forward to it. And you at home can look forward to a detailed breakdown of the game as we get closer to puck drop. So look for that in a future episode. Dan, we're back now with our matchup of the week. There's some great action happening down in the USP3, the Midwest section of that league specifically. We've got a really good race shaping up in that division. You got three teams fighting for second. Traverse City North Stars in first, but those three teams not too far behind. One of those teams, the Alpena Flyers, they've got two games coming up this weekend against Kalkaska, which are essential for trying to maintain second place, but also chip away at that North Star lead.
And these are two interesting teams to look at, Kalkaska and Alpena. Alpena's had some success this year in places against some really talented squads. They took it to Hampton Roads when they were at the IHC showcase. They've taken it to some top talent in this league. They've also had some trouble with some of the teams that you think they might have been able to handle, they might have been able to beat. This is a Kalkaska team as well that has the same ups and downs. They've had the same issues this year. They've beaten some of the top contenders. They've had some problems with some of the lower contenders. Both of these teams are going to be physical. They're both teams that like to kind of slow the game down. They like to kind of bring up the physicality level, and they like to try to play those low-scoring battles where late in the game, the team that's the most tired starts to kind of give in, starts to kind of give up, and it's going to be a tough battle between the two.
And we're watching that game, that series this weekend, because next week, Alpena's got 3 against the North Stars.
Yep.
And taking the majority of those games is going to be crucial for, like I said, chipping away at that lead.
Yeah, and it's a long trip for them, too. Alpena's going to have to go all the way up to Traverse City. It's going to be a battle royale for them. You got to at least split with Kalkaska, and you're going to have to take 2 out of 3 against Traverse City if you want to start chipping away at that lead. So it's a tough road ahead for Alpena. A lot of traveling, a lot of time on the road, but you get those legs under you. You're young. You just had Thanksgiving break. This is the time to have to do it.
And so we talked about Traverse City and Alpena, which are 2 teams in that hunt for first place in the Midwest.
Yep.
The other 2 teams playing each other this weekend, and now we're getting to our matchup of the week.
Yep.
This is the series that we're going to be watching all weekend. It is the Motor City Hawks playing 2 games against the Decatur Blaze.
And the Blaze have been burning up that ice, Lucas. And, I love to use puns. I love to use fun word play. And this is a Decatur team that's fun to watch, You talk about it. Lucas has it written here. He's done the research. He's the man. 4 to 5 wins. 4 wins in their last 5 games. Playing a team in the Motor City Hawks with 4 losses in their last 5 games. These are 2 teams that there's no love lost for one another. Both of them want to beat each other. And I know how badly Coach Jason McCrimmon and the owner of this Motor City Hawks team, Mark Gilman, want to make this team a winner this year. They think this is the year. They've got Justin Sessions out there, who is a young man who's fun to watch, fun to see down there on the ice, and he's a leader on and off the ice. Great kid, great player. Sessions is going to be tough to beat for the Decatur Blaze.
And you like to talk about individual players and streaks and who's due for what. I'm a stats guy. I'm a hard numbers guy, Dan. You know that. And Decatur, they kind of get off to a slow start, but they come alive in the second and third period. And Motor City has a tendency to give up a lot of goals in the third period. But on the other side, you have the Motor City Hawks, who are doing so well on the power play. They are really taking those odd man chances, and they are putting pucks in the back of the net. So I have to ask you, Dan, Hawks or Blaze?
You gotta have a hard time with this one, right? You gotta watch both of these teams. You gotta say even matchup, anyone could win it. But I always go with certain names, and the name that I stuck with at the beginning of this, it's Justin Sessions. That's the guy who I think is the difference maker in this one. I've seen this Motor City Hawks team play in person multiple times. I've seen Coach McCrimmon. He is a winner at heart. He knows how to put a winner together. I think Motor City Hawks take the weekend.
Well, and I think what is becoming a Dan K Show tradition, if I can say it correctly, I'm going to have to disagree with you on this one.
Yep.
I think we both agree that perhaps a greater likelihood of one team taking both games is a split because of how evenly matched they are.
Of course, yeah.
But I'm going to have to favor the Blaze for 2 games here. You know, like I said before, the Blaze have a tendency to get off to a slow start. And what that signals to me, Dan, is they're a team that likes to treat hockey as a game of chess. They sit back, they play conservatively, they see what their opponent is doing before they decide to make their move. And when they do make their move, they score goals, they put games away, and I would not be surprised if the Blaze are able to shut down those star players you've been talking about, especially on the power play, and limit the times they have to have a penalty kill. I think the Blaze are going to take 2 this weekend.
Lucas, you say a chess game. Yeah, the one thing about Coach McCrimmon and the style of hockey he plays, if Decatur tries to go out there and play a chess game, he's going to knock the board over. Have fun playing against him. Have fun trying to find his king when he's knocked it across the room. Have fun trying to stop this man. This is a team that when the going gets tough, they get tougher. And they're going to battle. They're going to hit. They are going to make it tough for you. They're going to take away space on that ice. There's not going to be 2 most important things in hockey, Luke, is time and space. They don't give you it. It's going to be good hockey. It's going to be great hockey. If Decatur wants to win it, they're going to have to get off to a quicker start. They're going to have to score early. That's why, again, I go Motor City.
Well, Dan, I'm a firm believer in the pen is mightier than the sword. The chess player will win, at least in my opinion. Even though the Motor City Hawks are going to play some physical hockey and they are going to come out early, I think the Blaze are going to be able to hold on long enough to get that end game in motion, put some pucks in the back of the net later on, and seal the victory.
We'll see what happens, Lucas. We'll see what happens, but it's going to be a victory for all of us watching at home. And, you know, another victory for us is our favorite segment of the week, Lucas, and it's called the Empty Net. And we are going to take it to the empty net here. I know there's someone you wanted to recognize for just the fandom, the following, the friendship, and the likes. Who's it been?
Well, you know, we can see the activity on Facebook for the USPHL page, the USPHL network page, and the Dan K Show Facebook page. And we would like to recognize John McCormick. John, we know you're out there because we can see you liking everything. And we want to let you know that we appreciate you keeping up with all the USPHL news, liking the posts, sharing the posts, commenting people's names so they can see the posts too. And we want to encourage all USPHL fans, whether it's players, coaches, parents, distant relatives, people who may, know a guy somewhere.
Bears who can talk and wear hats. Those two.
They can talk. Can they use the internet?
Berenstein Bears good.
It's Berenstein. In any case, make sure you're following the USPHL Facebook page, USPHL Network Facebook page, the Dan K Show Facebook page. Both
My
of
Facebook
us
page.
On Facebook and on Twitter. He might request you on Facebook. I won't.
No.
But definitely Twitter. And the Twitter handles will be down here, which future Lucas will make sure to put it on the computer graphics. So we just want to recognize John McCormick for that and encourage all of you to talk to us more using hashtag
Dan K Show
and hashtag
Empty Net
and tweeting at
USPHL Network. Wow, this is a tough test.
Well, you got 3 out of 3, Dan. Congratulations.
I got 3 out of 3, and that's why they call me Mr. Hat Trick. They don't call me that. I wish they did. It would sound really cool. People would think that I was better at hockey than I really am. But you know who is good at hockey? Every single player in your USPHL, and we love watching you play. Lucas loves giving his final words. Parting words, Lucas Jones. It's a Sipsky for the bros. This is one for you. This is one for all you hockey guys. We hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving this past week, and we hope that you enjoy Thanksgiving us more great hockey to watch. Remember, when Dan K is on the mic, it's always hockey night. Keep watching, USPHL fans.
I don't know how you come up with puns so quickly.
Quick puns. They used to call me Quick Puns Honey Buns.
Nobody
That
calls
was
you that.
yep, no, that was my college nickname.
The panic in your voice when I asked you those questions was very real, though.
Oh, I
That
did not
was
know the
real
answers to
bad.
any of those questions. They were
Now-
all guesses.
Now you know how I feel when you ask me random questions that you don't tell me
It was
beforehand.
scary. I didn't know you were going to go a hashtag Wonder Bread. Hashtag I don't know. Hashtag I'm passing out. Hashtag why is it so hot in here?
Hashtag the room is spinning. Hashtag did someone turn out the lights?